Hi guys. Um, I just wanted to jump on here because I was having a rough day and I was like really late to get information and content out for you today. And I was like having a tough time just like putting it all together and keeping my head straight and like feeling um I don't even know, like motivated. I was trying to get my makeup done and I was trying to like get everything ready today and it took me like 3 hours just to put my makeup on and I was like, why is it taking me so long just to like do something so basic? Why can't I focus? Why can't I think? Why am I so out of it? Why do I feel so foggy? Why do I feel so like down? Um, and I was like, okay, is it the government stuff? Like that just doesn't even seem real. Like, why would I be this down over something like that? That doesn't even make sense. Like, yes, it's like what's happening right now is, it's hard to fathom, but at the same time, it's like it can't get me this down. Like, it's not feasible. So I was like, okay, um, take the clock just keeps going and going and going. And I'm like, it's like 2 o'clock and I'm still don't have my makeup on. And I've literally been doing my eyebrows or my eyeshadow for 2 hours. And I'm just like trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And I can't process anything and I can't think and can't find anything and I can't focus. And I'm like, why do I? And then I'm like, I'm trying to watch what's happening on the news. And then, I'm obviously tweeting in the middle of all of that, trying to like distract myself. And I'm like, is it like, am I not focusing on anything because of everything that's going on in the world? Or is it something else that's going on? And then all of a sudden, I get this message in my inbox, and it's from this person that I've known for a very long time. And it was a message that had come on her like memories from 8 years ago. And it was like about my son. And it was about the day that he almost passed. And she's like, this was in my memories today. And it was a prayer for my child because he was like not doing well and we didn't know why. And I was like, this is why I can't do anything today. Like, this is why I'm can't focus. This is why I'm so out of it. It's like your body knows, but you don't connect the dots. I wouldn't have even like paid attention until she sent me that. And I was like, this is 8 years ago, the worst day of my life. No wonder today is literally feels like I can't put one foot in front of the other. And some years it's been weird because it's like I go into this fog this time every year that this happens, and it's like I don't really realize I'm going through it until like it's pointed out to me, or I look at the calendar, or like really think about what day it was when it happened. And then all of those emotions are like flooding back to me of being at the hospital and feeling helpless and not knowing what was going to happen and not knowing what was wrong. And then like looking at my kid now and being like, oh my God, he's here, he's alive, everything's cool, like he made it. But it doesn't make those like, I don't know, it doesn't make it any easier when those memories come back. So I don't know if you've gone through anything like that in your life, but I just wanted to share that that's what I was going through today. And I thought it would get easier every year. I honestly did. But it doesn't really seem to. For some reason, this year hit me harder than most. And I came downstairs and I told my son happy survival day, because that's what we call it. It's like his second birthday, because he was born and then he almost passed and now he's survived. But that's what's weighing on my heart, and I think what's been weighing on me for the last few days has just been this lack of motivation, this lack of wanting to get up, this lack of wanting to do anything. It all comes back to that. And it's amazing how it can stick with you and stay on you and be with you. It's honestly amazing that you can like go through something like that and it's amazing that you can go through something like that and like have no memory of it, and then like you're back there like it was just yesterday. It is amazing what the body remembers that the heart wants to forget. It was so weird. Like all day I was just like laying there and I was like, I don't want to move. I was like upstairs and I was like laying on the bed and I was like, I don't want to work. Then I went and worked out. Then I took a shower. Then I started putting my makeup on. And normally I putz around with my makeup because I read while I'm doing it. But it was just weird. It was like I started doing my makeup at 11 o'clock. I finished putting my makeup on at almost 3. Because I would start and then I would just stop and I just couldn't. It's like, what is taking you so long, Katie? Like, why is it taking you so long just to put your makeup on? This is so dumb. So, yeah. And you just sit there and you're like, how did I survive that? Like, how did I get through that? How did he get through that? How did we get through that? It's amazing. Everything that he's gone through, everything we've gone through, everything that we've been fighting for. I don't know what I need. I just needed to like share that with you. I know some people on here will be like, don't care and won't matter to them because it's not tea and it's not interesting. And I was on my other channel, but got kind of derailed. And I was like, I'm just going to go onto the main channel. I'm going to share it there. Sometimes people care about me there. Sometimes they don't. I don't know. I felt like even finding content today was hard. Like, I mean, I had what I needed to put out, but it was just like, I felt like I was going through the motions. Like it was hard to like even, it's been like that for a week. It's just like every time I try to make a video, I'm finding it hard to laugh. I'm finding it hard to just be silly. And I think there's just this heaviness with what's happening in the world right now. And then there's this like heaviness of every year feeling like this because of what we went through. And it's like compounded. And I was thinking like, maybe if I actually just like shared that with someone else that's going through it might see it and just not feel alone. Because it's hard when you don't have a lot of people in your life that have gone through what you have. It's really scary to almost lose a child, and it's really scary to have that in your life because you fear it happening again. And then you never know if it will happen again because you know that your son has that same illness today and it could land that same way. And so you live on like pins and needles because you don't know if the next illness will get him there again. Like, it was like that in June. The same thing, like, stops breathing at home. We're in the ambulance. We're trying to get him to come back, and it's like, it never gets easier. Now we know what he has and we know how to take care of him, but it never gets easier to see your kid just like lose consciousness and feel helpless and scared. So if you've gone through that, I see you. I feel you. I can't promise you that it'll get, the flashbacks from the trauma bay are like the hardest. The trauma bay flashbacks are like so terrible. And then the flashbacks of like getting into the ICU and like not being able to find a blood sugar, and then them telling us that he's probably not going to make it. You're just like, you carry that with you. And I just know that like every day, there are so many people that go through that. And like every day there's people that their lives end because of my son's illness. And so I'm always like so grateful for another day. And I also know that like we could be there again at any time. I'm sure it's PTSD. It was so weird. Like, he was in the middle of trauma bay and he was like, they're intubating him. And the doctor's like, he's so cute. It was the weirdest moment of my life. My son is literally can't breathe. And a doctor's like, but he's so cute. It was weird. It was the most bizarre, like, I don't know if he was trying to be like human to calm me down. I mean, like, yeah, I know he's cute. Go make him breathe, right? Like,
He probably saw the worry on our faces.
yeah. It was so weird. Like, he's so cute. That's great. Now, could you just go get him on the ventilator, please? Make sure he doesn't stop breathing again. There was a lot of beeping that day. He is really cute. He's way bigger now. You know, the funny thing is about today, he was so crabby. Maybe he knew. He was so mad. He slept in. We slept in until 7 today. And he got out of bed and he was so angry because he gets up at 6:30. And he was like, I didn't want to sleep in. I didn't want to get up. I wanted to get up earlier. Why did you let me sleep in? Why did I do that? He got really angry that he slept in. And then he came downstairs and he was so mad all morning because he slept in. And he was like yelling and just crying. And he's like, because it threw off his routine. And we're like, why are you so crabby? Because I didn't want to sleep in. I hate when I do that. When he's a teenager, he will not say that. I don't know if he'll even sleep when he's a teenager. He never sleeps now, but he was so mad that he slept in. So maybe he knew too. Maybe his body was like, I'm so tired. I need to sleep too. Anyways, if you've gone through that, and if you feel like that and you have those flashbacks, and if you've been in that position, like, I don't know, Just like take some time for yourself and breathe. I came downstairs when I realized it was him. It was his day, and I gave him a high five and I said, "Happy Survival Day." We tell him, you know, like in very basic terms, like what happened. And he's never impressed. I watched that stuff on the TV and I was finding myself aggravated in general. The state of the world is just a mess right now, so that doesn't help at all. But anyways, you guys, I just wanted to tell you that, and I'm not going to keep you anymore. That's why I was late with everything. That's why I was in a funk all day. That's why I've been in a funk probably the last few days leading up to this. It's like that darkness just sort of takes hold. And if I'm still in a funk for a few days, this will probably be why. Today was one of those days where I had a lot of things that I wanted to tweet that I just kept like typing it out and then not sending. I've learned that this is a really great tool. Type it out, don't send it. Type it out, don't send it. You get it out and then you read it and then you're like, yeah. Anyways, our son will never be able to like, we could easily end up in that situation again. And I'm so grateful to the doctors that saved his life. And Children's Minneapolis Trauma and their intensivists are awesome, phenomenal. I owe my life for them, like to them. And we are so lucky that we still have some of those doctors in our lives today, like that have gotten to see him grow up. And just like a couple years ago, we ran into one of the doctors that was like there that told us that he might not make it, like had to sit us down. And we're in the cardiology center and he saw my son run by and he was like, "Is that him?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's him." Like the doctors haven't forgotten him because his blood sugar was the lowest it had ever been in a surviving patient, like 7. I guess if a doctor wants to remember your kid for something, right? Like, yeah. And then one of the other intensivists works at the other hospital that we go to, and so we get to see him when my son is inpatient for various procedures. So we've been able to keep in touch with a lot of them, but I'm so grateful we live where we do, and we have doctors here that are so skilled with these conditions and that understand complex health and that understand all of this. It's not easy to have a child that has so much going on, but they make it so much easier. And, you know, it's amazing what, I don't know. It's pretty incredible, like, what they can do and how they can save kids. I remember them sitting us down and saying that, like, that specific ICU has less than a 3% mortality rate. And he said, the doctor that told us this, he goes, "This ICU has less than a 3% mortality rate. And your son, I think, is in that 3% or something like that. Or he might be that 3%. And I was like, oh my God. Yes. So we literally sat at his bedside for 12 hours. 12 hours. Every single hour, they checked his blood sugar. And it just kept going up, 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 up. And it was because they gave him steroids. And that's what keeps him alive. So when I say that my son is medically fragile and that he needs medications to live, I'm not lying. I know that a lot of people on the internet like to think that I lie about everything, and that's not actually what I do. Someday people will realize that, maybe others won't care, but I have no reason to lie about anything, and I have no reason to lie about this. And I would give up everything to not have to deal with this if we could make him healthy. I would give up the world if it meant that he would be have his health, but that's just not possible. So when people tell me that I need to leave the internet and I have to give up and I have to stop, I just remember that I've been through the hardest day of my life. I've watched him fight to live, and I'm not going to stop my job because he needs us to work and he needs us to have everything, and he needs to be cared for, and he needs to have services, and that has to get paid for. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm just going to get off here now, but that's all I have. Thanks for listening.